bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Ya ba 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 bim bam. Bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shalom to all of my chaverim, my friends from Congregation Emmanuel. Bim bam, bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Ya ba 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 bim bam. Bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. I called you my chaverim. That means my friends. Shalom chaverim, shalom chaverim, shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, shalom, shalom. Who do I see there? Yell out your name to me. Shalom chaverim, shalom chaverim, shalom, 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 shalom. Hello to everyone. I am so excited to share this Kabbalat Shabbat with you. I am in the Beit Knesset. I know where the Sefer Torah is. It's behind me. But in the Beit Knesset, I put on a kippah. I hope that you have a kippah and you can share this prayer and this song with Rabbi Yael. Here we go. Show me your kippah. What color is your kippah? Oh, those are beautiful kippot. I have one on my head that's pink, varod, and then I have this one that's shachor. It's black with varod around the rim. Kippah yarmulke shows the world you're a Jew. Wear it all day or just when you pray. It's totally up to you. I wear a kippah on my head to remind me that God is above. Wearing a kippah is one of the ways I show my respect and my love. Kippah yarmulke shows the world you're a Jew. Wear it all day or just when you play. It's totally up to you. Some put it on when they eat, and others just when they pray. Some of us like to wear a kippah everywhere during the day. Kippah yarmulke shows the world you're a Jew. Wear it all day or just when you pray. It's totally up to you. I'm wearing my kippah. I'm in the Beit Knesset. I'm Harav Yael, Rabbi Yael, and I called you my chaverim, my friends. But chaverim, that's not an English word. And when I use these words, chaverim, what language am I speaking? When I say Beit Knesset, what language is this? Say it louder. That's right. It's Hebrew. Do you know that Hebrew also has its own alphabet? Would you repeat after me? Aleph, Bet, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Chaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Fei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Sin, Tav. Let's sing it all again. It's easy as you can see. I'll say the Aleph, Bet. Won't you repeat after me? Here we go. Aleph, Bet, Bet, Aleph, Bet, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Chaf, Yud, Kaf, Chaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Fei, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Fei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Sin, Tav. That was beautiful. Well, I brought some friends with me here. You've met some of them, but there are some new friends who are joining us. This is Shoshana. Shalom, Chaverim. Shoshana picked a kippah today from our house. It's shachor, it's black. And this is Ephraim. One moment. Ephraim picked a kippah from our house. It is green. Ephraim, wear your kippah. Oh my goodness, you know, Ephraim needs a clip. His kippah is not going to stay on without a clip. Rabbi Yael is wearing a clip. Ephraim, it's Shabbat. Oh, Shabbat Shalom, Chaverim. Shoshana, it's Shabbat. Shabbat? Ephraim, Rabbi Yael, we need to do something special if it's Shabbat. What could that be, Ephraim? What could that be, Shoshana? I know! Ephraim, you sound so excited. What should we do? We should light the Shabbat candles. Come, Shoshana. Come, Ephraim. I love that you're here in the Beit Knesset with me. Be careful, Shoshana. There's a flame. I will be careful, Rabbi Yael. Let's work together, Shoshana. Together, we can light the Shabbat candles. Shoshana, I'm going to help Ephraim for 1 minute. Here we go. This is not so easy. It's really a good thing if you're doing this at home. Only do it with your parents. You know what, Ephraim? I'm going to do this by myself, and then you can both help me with the blessing. Fire is really only for adults, but it's a very special thing that we can do on Shabbat. One of the rabbis taught us once that fire is sort of like God. Fire is so special. It helps us to feel warm. It helps us to see. And so we want to be close to fire. But fire can also burn us, so we never touch it. Ephraim? Yes, Rabbi Yael. Shoshana? Cover your eyes and let's say the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. Mwah. Shabbat shalom. Mwah. My friends. Hey, Shoshana, you're pulling me. You're pulling me. Why are you pulling me, Shoshana? Rabbi Yael, there's something else here. And Ephraim, you're pulling me. Rabbi Yael, there's something else here. I know, my friends, my chaverim. This Shoshana is our Kiddush cup. And as soon as Rabbi's finished telling her story, in services, we're going to say Kiddush. Oh, I can't wait. And this is the special Shabbat gift. Look, friends, Chaverim, it's challah. And as soon as Rabbi Yael finishes the story, in services, we're going to say the blessings together. I can't wait. Awesome. But let's go up and do a few more songs for Shabbat. I know we have friends. Would you two sit over here with me? Thank you. And will you make sure to sing loud so all of the children, all of the chaverim can hear you? I'm so glad that you will. You know, my friends, when you wake up in the morning, what's the very first prayer that we say? And when you're ready to close your eyes and put your head on your pillow in bed, what's the last prayer that we say at night before you go to bed? I heard you. You're right. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Do I have a few big kids here today? Oh, I see you. Let's do a few verses of Ve'ahavta. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. יא לי לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, לה 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 לה, יא לה לה, יא לה לה לה, יא לה 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 לה, לה 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 לה. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Eitz Chaim hi למחזיקים בה וכל תומכיה מאושר. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה וכל תומכיה מאושר. שלום, 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 שלום. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast. What is a tree of life, my friends? I'm going to sign the answer. Let's see if you get it. What is a tree of life? Torah. Hello, my friend, Mr. Para. Ms. Para, sorry, it's Ms. Cow, Ms. Para. Hello, Chazir Hamud. Hello, you sweet little piggy. Hello, sweet little piggy. Where is the Torah? Is it under Rabbi's chair? Is it under there, Ms. Para? Moo. No. Is it in the Hebrew school in the back, in the Beit HaSefer? Oink, oink. No. Oh, wait, what'd you say? My friends know where it is. Look for the Ner Tamid. Look for the Ner Tamid, the light that's always on. And if you go to the Ner Tamid, and then you come down and you see these 12 tribes, the 12 panels, and we open up, guess what you're going to see? That's right. The Torah. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Why don't we do a little bit of Talmud? Get your hands ready if you're going to help me. Al shlosha divarim. On 3 things. Ha'olam, ha'olam omed. The entire world stands firm. What does the world stand on? Al ha-Torah, the Torah, always learning. Ve'al ha'avodah. Everybody can pray. Everyone can speak to the source of creation. Ve'al gemilut chasadim, acts of loving kindness. I hope that your hands are ready, and I hope that your beautiful voices are ready to sing together with Rabbi. Al shlosha divarim, al shlosha divarim, al shlosha divarim, ha'olam, ha'olam omed. Al ha'Torah, ve'al ha'avodah, ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al ha'Torah, ve'al ha'avodah, ve'al gemilut chasadim. On 3 things. On 3 things. On three things. The whole world stands. On Torah and on prayer and on loving acts. Al ha'Torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. What day is it today? Who knows what day it is? That's right, it is Friday. But what day is it in Hebrew? Today is Yom Shishi. Yom Shishi is Friday, and once the sun comes down, it's Shabbat. It's Shabbat. do to do to do do. It's Shabbat, do to do to do do. It's Shabbat, do to do to do do. It's Shabbat, do do to do do. Light candles, 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 do do to do do. Say kiddush, 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 do do to do do. Eat challah, 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 do do to do do. Come to pray, do do to do do. Come to shul, do do to do do. Come to synagogue, do do to do do. Come to prayer, do do to do do. Be with family, do do to do do. Rest and eat, do do to do do. See your friends, do do to do do. Walk in the park, do do to do do. Boy, we are going to have so much fun on Shabbat. But it wouldn't be Shabbat for us if we didn't sing some of our nursery rhymes. We're so happy it's Shabbat. Let's fill up the Beit Knesset with balonim. Woo-hoo! I can't wait to see what they're going to look like. Yes, they're imaginary. Get your hands ready. Ready? Repeat after me. Balon katan, balon kachol, ratza lehiot, achi gadol. Little balloon, blue balloon, wanted to be the biggest balloon. What did it need to do? Heat na peach. Heat na peach. Heat na peach. Heat na peach. Heat potzet ha-pikeach. That was good. I think you know that Rabbi loves achbarim as long as they're outside in the woods. Rabbi does not love achbarim when they come into her house. Who remembers what an achbar is? It is a mouse. Watch my fingers. Achbar katan, tiel began pagash, chatul shachor. Little mouse traveled, journeyed in the park, and met a chatul is a cat that was all black, shachor. What did the achbar do, my friends? Ra-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, ra-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, whoop! Nichnas lachor. Bo elai par nechmad litayeli al hayad. Al habeten, al hagav, al halechi, al ha'af, ve'af. Should we call it back and get a few more body parts? I think so. It's a parpar, a butterfly. Parpar. Bo elai parpar nechmad litayeli al hayad. Al habeten, al hagav, al hatusik, al haberech, al harosh, al haozen, al hapeh, al hapsonter, al ha'ayin, al ha'af, ve'af. I miss you all so much. I want to tell you that a friend from our Tot Shabbat group wrote me a letter. And you know what? As soon as I received his letter, I wrote him a letter back. If you want to write to Rabbi Yael, if you want to tell a story to your daddy or your mommy or your savta, your grandma, and have them write down the message to Rabbi Yael and put a stamp on it and send it to me, I will write a letter back to you. What song did we not do that we should close with today? Eli, Eli, shelo yigamer le'olam, hachol ve'hayam, rish rush, shel hamayim barak, hashamayim, tfilat ha'adam, hachol ve'hayam, rish rush, shel hamayim, barak hashamayim, tfilat ha'adam. O God, O source, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart. I hope that you're going to stay for early Kabbalat Shabbat services that will begin at 6 p.m. I have a wonderful story for you. And immediately following the story, together we'll bless over the wine and the challah. Shabbat shalom, my friends. Chaverim sheli. Shabbat shalom. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Shabbat Shalom Lekulam. Page 126 of our Siddur. If you don't have a prayer book in front of you, please reach for the PDF of Mishkan Tfilah on our website. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. HaShekhinah needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love HaShekhinah is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love HaShekhinah is to love the world that the Source created and to work to perfect it. To love HaShekhinah is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Page 128, paragraph 3. Yedid nefesh avarachaman, Yedid nefesh avarachaman, mishochav El retzonecha mishochav ya la 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 El retzonecha yarutz avdecha kemo ayal ayal Ishtachav elai lalai, ya la 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 la, el mul hadarecha. 129. Dodi li ואני לא הרואה בשושנים תודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים מי זאת עולה מן המדבר מי זאת עולה מי זאת עולה מן המדבר מי זאת עולה תודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים תודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים מכותרת מור מור ולבונה מור ולבונה מכותרת מור מור ולבונה מור ולבונה תודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים תודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. What a gift it is to be here together. As we turn in our Sidurim to page 138, I remind you that this prayer, Lecha Dodi, was written by the Kabbalists who lived in Tzfat, in the north of Israel. And they would sing this prayer on Friday night as they were walking out over the rolling hills outside of the city, going to greet the Sabbath bride. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, yalala, yalala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, yalala, yalala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad Hishmeyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litchila Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, yalala, yalala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, yalala, yalala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habracha nerosh mikedem nesucha סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, yalala, yalala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, yalala, yalala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Paragraph 5. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech hu mi uri, 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 shir daberi, kivod Adonai, alayich negila. Lechad dodi lihikrat kala yalala yalala yalala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechad dodi lihikrat kala yalala yalala yalala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Paragraph 9. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam b'simcha u'v'tzohala toch emunei am segula boi kala lechad dodi lihikrat kala yalala yalala yalala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechad dodi lihikrat kala yalala yalala yalala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Turning together to page 142. It is traditional in households across the world to sing Shalom Aleichem on Friday nights. We have used this moment in our service to honor the essential workers in our community, those people who are putting themselves on the front lines to be certain that those members of our country, of our communities who have come down with COVID-19 can be treated. These are the people who are putting their life on the line to make sure that we all have the services that we need. For these members of our community and extended family and friends, we honor your heroism. The nurses, Marie Delaparte, Christina Dubois, Teresa Eggers, Jay Montier, Cindy Pomerantz, Helen Powers, Joni Savego, Lucinda Siegel, Christina Snell, Ben Wilder, Elisa Williams. These doctors, Amy Kagiula, Joe Cohen, Elliot Dresnick, Elon Haley, Steve Kaplan, Liz Levine, Aaron Daniel Levitt, Elle Levitt, Noah Alexander Levitt, Richard Levy, Hannah Mittenberg, Stephen Schwartz, Andrew Yanowski, Lee Friedman, Nick Friedman. These healthcare workers, Yisrael Aga, Dara Clausen, Joseph Schwendeman, Amy Skorka, Jaron Widham, Bar Levi Romer. All of the nurses, staff, aides, and doctors in our community, these first responders, Ryan Coletti, Mark Donchek, Steve Fleischer, Don Hughes, Karen Leader, Abe Markovitz, Anthony Schleuderer, Russell Seymour. These educational professionals, Molly Levine Hunt, Jim Hunt, Tammy Logan, Sue Worthman, Karen Zrake, Sandy Albelli. These grocery staff individuals, Jill Smith, Mike Becker. These electricians, mechanics, technicians, Mike Brewer, Brian Lestrange. We honor you as you provide for us. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shuvchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. 144. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba B'alma divra chirute V'yamlich malchute B'chayechon uvyomechon Uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, ve'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam ul'almei olmaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yit'alal, Shmei d'Kudesha barich hu, le'ela, min kol berchata, v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, V'immeru, amen. Being connected to one another on this Shabbat, we call one another to formal worship. Being connected with our Jewish people everywhere, it is our tradition to turn and face Jerusalem, face Yerushalayim, to face east, and make connection with our people everywhere, yearning for peace. 146. La la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la, Amevorach, Baruch Adonai, Amevorach, Leolam va'ed. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. We bring ahava, love, to the Shema. I'm going to ask you to imagine what it feels like to be someone who receives love, unconditional love, love of a friend, of a sibling, of a parent, love of the source. And when we know how to receive love, then we know how to affirm our faith. And when we affirm our faith, so it is our responsibility to bring love into the world. 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. 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 155 Ve'ahavta. Julius Lester teaches us Judaism is a doing which can be grasped only by the heart. Emet. So this is our truth. In an act of doing, we partner with the divine, page 158, as Miriam did, and Moses did, and the children of Israel did, with courage, getting into good trouble, making a difference in healing in the world. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oh sefele, nora tehilot oh sefele. Malchutecha rahu vanecha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe v'Miriam. Ze'eli anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Page 160, the third line, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, spread over us, O HaShekhinah, your shelter of peace. Ufros aleinu sukat, sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat, sukat shlomecha. Yalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai lalai lalai. Yalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai lalai. Ufros aleinu sukat, sukat shlomecha. 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. HaShekhinah, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. 162. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. The philosopher Achad Ha'am said, more than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi hagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth shall declare your praise. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la. Tfilat Amidah belachash, in a whisper, through page 180. Don't forget what the rabbis teach us. You have not fulfilled your mitzvah, your chovah, your responsibility of prayer by merely reading the words in the Siddur. You only fulfill your chovah, your responsibility, when you have added the unwritten prayer, the ruminations, the meditations of one's heart. Let me have peace. Let me be healed. Let me be whole. Shalom. I am at peace. I'm one with the world. I have hope. Shalom. 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 Ose shalom bimromav, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. With our prayers and our hearts opened, the Rambam teaches, with our prayers in our hands, filled with prayerfulness, we turn our attention to a prayer for healing for those members of our community who are challenged with the challenges of body and soul that are in need of healing. I ask at this time that our prayers go out to Avel ben Rachel v'David, Craig Albelli, Susan Bosch, Anna Cohen-Klein, Tyler Corvin, John Gautier, Jeff Gold, Stephen Gutterman, Robin Stone, Judy Jacobs, Ellen Vogelov, Todd Albelli, Tommy Anderson, Deborah Brenner, Michael Corvin, Steve Fine, Cheryl Fitzsimmons, Francine Glasser, Mark Greenberg, Marcia Hamburg, Danny Joseph, Heather Kedar, Marty Cantor, Anita Cantor, Heather Kite, Julevi Corley, Charles Littman, David Mallon, Danielle Mass, Sandy Mell, Ann Murkoff, Marshall Nadan, Catherine Nicholson, Nieva Nuzzi, Steve Perlmutter, Antoinette Phelan, Lillian Rich Schuster, Dave Rosenthal, Evie Rosenthal, Kyle Rothgeb, Barbara Salberg, Shirley Schneider, Deborah Sears, Phil Searles, Michelle Simon, Charles Slutsky, Elaine Trott, Mark Trott, Kay Walsh, Ben Wilder, Mac Williams, Scott Zimbler. Page 371. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lehavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. At the very bottom of your page, on page 371, we have a special prayer called Birkat HaGomel. Birkat HaGomel is only said on the occasion when one in the community has faced a harrowing moment, a frightening moment where they knew at that moment that they might not survive. And then they do survive. And when they survive that horrifying moment and return to their community, we have the privilege of saying Birkat HaGomel. Just this past week, Karen and Ben Wilder were driving in the car, and another vehicle came, ran a stop sign, and ran right into them, flipping over their car and totaling the Wilders' car. The Wilders could do nothing as this other vehicle was speeding, this motorcycle was speeding, and thankfully, the motorcycle driver is okay. Thankfully, our Karen and Ben Wilder, other than being bruised and shaken, are okay. But as they compose themselves, they are still shaking. And we say at the very bottom of page 371, blessed are you, source of the universe, who has bestowed every goodness upon us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shegmalanu kol tov. And Karen and Ben respond, Amen. Mi shegmalchem kol tov, hu yigamelchem kol tov, Selah. Amen. May the source, the eternal one who has bestowed this goodness upon us, continue to bestow upon us goodness forever and ever. Well, there was once a very wicked king. He kept himself shut up in his palace. You might wonder what made him so wicked. Well, I'll tell you. There was a contagious illness in the land. The people were suffering mightily. And he refused to listen. He refused to take the steps to protect them. The people were suffering, the people were dying, and he refused to listen. It happened that the people were fed up. So they went to the gates of the palace and they stood outside. And they wailed. And they mourned. And they spoke out. And they called for him to abandon his throne and let another come in his stead. So angry was this king when the people gathered outside. He called his advisors, and his advisors said, "Yes, O king, there is a contagion. We must do something." He called his wise men, and they said, "Yes, these are the steps that we can take to protect them." He called the doctors, and they said, "Yes, these are the things we need to do." He didn't listen to them. But he had another idea. He decided that he would arm his army. He would arm his soldiers with the best bows and the best swords. And he would lead them out of the palace into the streets. And there he would take revenge on those people of his that spoke out against him, those people who refused to cow down to what he said. Well, as he armed the soldiers, he knew that it would be an easy defeat because the people were unarmed. So he headed out with the people, with the soldiers, out into the street. And the soldiers took their weapons and their swords and their bows and arrows. But the people stood bravely and courageously. They had no weapons, but they reached down and they grabbed earth. And they flung the earth at the soldiers. Throwing the earth, they put up a mighty fight. And in the hullabaloo, earth came and hit the king in the eye. He began to rub his eyes, and his eyes were burning. And the more they burned, the more he rubbed, until finally he called the soldiers and he said, "Defeat, defeat, we must retreat back into the castle." And he went back into the castle. But he was very upset because his eyes were burning. His eyes were burning, and he kept rubbing his eyes, and the more he rubbed his eyes, the more they burned, and the more they burned, the more he rubbed, and the more he rubbed, the more swollen they became. He called his advisors back in. He called the doctors back in. He called the wise men back in, and he said, "Do something." They offered him potions and magic, but no matter what they offered him, his eyes burned and burned. He had had enough of them, and so he exiled them from his palace. And he put out a decree. Hear ye, hear ye. Any person in my kingdom who can heal my hurting, swollen eyes, I will grant you one wish, any wish that you want. A young woman came up to the gates of the palace. She knocked on the gates and she said, "I can heal the king." The king squinted and looked at her, and he thought to himself, "I recognize her. Weren't you one of the people that was standing and protesting outside of the gates of my palace?" But before she could answer, he waved his hands and he said, "It doesn't matter. Just heal me, because my eyes hurt so much." And so she said, I can heal you, O king. First, I need to examine you, so you will need to take off your clothes, strip down to your underwear. He did. He took off his clothes and stripped down to his underwear. And the young woman, she first examined his eyes, and then his heart. And then she put her hand on his stomach, and she gasped. The king looked at her and said, "What's the problem?" She said, "Oh, king, you think your eyes are a problem. I'm sorry to tell you, but you have a tapeworm growing in your stomach." The king was shocked. A tapeworm growing in my stomach? Yes, and I have some bad news for you, king. That tapeworm is growing and growing and growing, and if you don't kill it, it will kill you. The king was horrified. He said to her, "Do what you need to do. Solve this. Can you solve this?" "Yes," she said. "I can heal." And she pulled out of her pocket a potion. And she said, "But if you are going to be healed, you will have to follow my instructions very, very carefully." "I will do anything you say," said the king. "For 1 full week," said the young woman, "every 10 minutes, all day and all night, for a full week, you must put this potion on your hands and rub your stomach." And so she left. And the king, who was desperate to heal and kill the tapeworm growing in his stomach, every 10 minutes set an alarm and rubbed his stomach. Every 10 minutes set an alarm and rubbed his stomach. And when the week had gone by and the 8th day came, the woman returned to the palace. And she said, "O king, I must examine you. Please take off your clothes." And so he stripped down to his underwear. And she put her hands on his stomach. And she said, "I have some good news for you, O king. The tapeworm is dead. And your eyes are healed too." And the king had no other option but to grant her one wish. You may be wondering what that one wish was. She asked only that he succeed his throne, that he step down off the throne peacefully, and allow another ruler to come forward who would listen to his people and protect them. What a privilege it is to be here with you, my congregation. Next Friday, Kabbalat Shabbat services return to our regular weekly time at 7:30 p.m. Please put on your calendar a very special event. Saturday morning on August 15th, our Noah Simon Donchek will become a bar mitzvah, as he is called to the Torah, at 10 a.m. We ask the whole congregation to tune in, not just Friday night, but Saturday morning, as Noah becomes a bar mitzvah. His bar mitzvah had been rescheduled from the spring because of COVID-19, and now we are going forward. It will be an empty Beit Knesset. We are counting on the congregation to live stream with Noah and support him as he becomes an adult in our community. In 2 weeks, on Friday, August 21st, the confirmands the 9th and 10th graders who have been studying with me, will be here on the bima leading a confirmation service. Once again, even their families will not be here in the sanctuary with us. Their families will be watching via live stream. And so we urge the whole congregation to tune in again on August 21st for confirmation services, which was also rescheduled from the spring, from Shavuot. Please remember that beginning next Friday, we are in the month of Elul, the high holidays, Yamim HaNoraim, the days of awe. So before services begin, beginning next week and throughout the month of Elul, each day and every Friday before services, I will be blowing shofar. Please tune in, and if you are one of the people who has a shofar in your home, make sure to have the shofar close, and hopefully you too will be blowing shofar each morning during the month of Elul. Social Action invites you to join our congregation via Zoom with an interview with Dr. Paul Bermanzon. He is a board member of A.J. William Myers African Roots Center in Kingston. He will be guiding our congregation through the historical journey of the movie, the documentary 13th, on Sunday, August 30th from 7 to 8:30. We are urging all of the congregation to watch the documentary 13th prior to Sunday, August 30th. This is the second of a year-long journey in race and racism, a discussion of Congregation Emmanuel, so that we can look at our own inherent bias and the racism that we each have as part of our makeup and the racism that's built into the foundation of this congregation. If you know an essential worker, we can honor them and have their name added to the list that we read each week. Please contact the main office by calling or emailing. Our high holiday schedule, our Yizkor memorial cards, and my sermon titles for the high holidays are on our schedule and have been mailed to you. If you would like to have your loved one remembered during services, please fill out the Yizkor card early. Please remember that you can have a loved one remembered in the Book of Life or with a memorial tablet that hangs in our sanctuary. Please contact Conrad Heisman or the main office. Remember that while our building is closed, our synagogue is very much in motion. We are working very hard to stay connected to meet everybody's needs. I urge you, each week, each month, and especially as we get to the high holidays, to hold the synagogue as your priority, to be generous, and to help us to continue to sustain our synagogue, especially through this difficult time when we are not able to do regular fundraisers, both seasonal and weekly. I look forward to seeing everybody throughout next week, as well as next Shabbat. Turning together in our Siddur, in our prayer book, to page 594. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools, this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love. A human thing, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. I am heartbroken to share with you that our congregation sustained 3 more losses this past week. Kahana Skalnik's beloved son, Levi Skalnik, Zichrono Livracha. Deb Sonnenstein and Ali Klein's father and grandfather, Ronald Sonnenstein. And past member and dear friend of our congregation, Robert Weber, Dr. Robert Weber, Zichrono Livracha, of blessed memory. We are with all 3 of those families, the Sonnenstein-Klein family, the Skalnik family, and the Weber family, as they walk through their journey of grief. So too are we with members of our congregation who are in their Shloshim and their Shana, their 30-day period of grieving and their year of grieving. May your loved ones' memory be for a blessing. And so too do we hold the blessings of memory for loved ones who died in this season in years past. Ralph Altschuler, remembered by Nick Capola and Barbara Altschuler Capola. Nellie Blatnick, remembered by Selma Bitz. Celine Block, Rebecca Cohen, remembered by Pauline Simon. Amelia Kahn, Saul Fogel, remembered by Sandy Albelli. Sarah Goldberg, Grace Gottlieb, remembered by Cindy Silver. Jacob Joslowitz, Sadie Kafka, remembered by Estelle Nadler. Lee Kahn, remembered by Stephen and Benjamin Kahn. Ronnie Sue Karasik, remembered by Russ Karasik. Florence Klein, remembered by Lou Klein and Phyllis Klein Rear. Harriet Levine Cement, remembered by Cara Levine. Eugene Neufeld, remembered by Robert Neufeld. Simon Pressman, remembered by Arnie and Sharon Zippel. Marie Rosenthal, remembered by Dave and Evie Rosenthal. Bessie Sager, Judith Zaid, remembered by Suzanne Eichhorn. Kaddish Yitom, 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam ulalmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmeid kudusha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol b'nei Adam. V'imru amen. 643. May their memories be woven with us. Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah. At the bottom of the page, Hava, Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah, Hava, Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Havana Shir Shir hallelujah. Hava. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kohodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher liyetziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta im kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch ata Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to the source for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Hava, Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom.